Hey, what's up, Front Seat Real Estate? Sean Provencher here with the Path Real Estate team, and I got my brother, Dylan Provencher, with the Path Real Estate team as well.
Hey, guys.
We did a video last week on how to build out a 1, 3, 5, 10-year plan. And in doing it, we kind of realized that while it's really great to have a tool for writing a plan for your business, unless you have a bigger model surrounding how you plan and coach yourself to your business, then it's going to be really hard for you to realize the goals that you set for yourself. So on our team, one of our foundational elements is that we want to coach people to a much larger goal than just what they're accomplishing on a weekly or even an annual basis. And I thought it'd be cool if we kind of shared what our current model is for coaching people towards their long-term goals.
Yeah.
So Dylan's driving today because I'm going to interview him. And I've got this little cheat sheet here that I use to explain it to people. I'd just like to kind of take you through it, and I'm going to interview Dylan as to how he coaches people to this when they're working within our group.
Okay.
Awesome. So it all starts with your big why.
Yeah.
What is that? How does it work? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, the reason it has to start with the big why, and people who are in Keller Williams will know what the big why is, but I'll just take a second. It literally is the reason that you go to work in the morning. So like for me, for example, I've always wanted to be able to provide a huge life for my kids. And that has become more and more crystallized once I had my child. But I've always known that I wanted to have I'm a family man. I really wanted to have a huge available life for him, and that was my big why. So that is the reason that I do everything, period. And it's important that when you're talking to people and you're coaching them, that you have a high understanding of what it is that they're trying to get accomplished, so that you know how to win with them without having any concept of what their big why is, or what long-term goals they're trying to accomplish. As a sales manager, you basically have a very fruitless conversation, because it's basically just go make the number, make more sales, go do this. But if you can tie it back to an actual reason that matters to them at their core, it makes it a lot more powerful, and it actually allows you to tie their success back to things that trigger action through emotion. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
For them too, it's better to be focused on what it means to them than what it means to you on a weekly activity
No one cares
basis.
about my
Makes it
goals.
about them.
No one cares about what it is that I want to accomplish. I can say I want the biggest team in Keller Williams, or the biggest team ever, and no one's going to care about that. But if I get enough people who want to have a goal that fits inside that goal, I have a much better chance of achieving it. Even though we're all working for slightly different reasons, we're all working towards the same end inside the plan.
Awesome. Next thing on the list is 1, 3, 5-year plan. We did a whole video on that. So just give us like that 10,000 feet up what it is.
So basically, the 1, 3, 5, 10 is that in years. So it's a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10-year plan. And the reason that's important is because some people actually don't know what their big why is, and this might be the top document you're able to get out of them. And it really just crystallizes what over the next decade they want to accomplish in their lives. Now, this includes everything, though. It's not just money, because again, money without the good that it can do is sort of just a valueless conversation. It's really about what they need the money for. Like, what's the money funding that's going to really change them at their core over the next 10 years? And that's a much more exciting conversation than go out and make your quota.
Absolutely, and it's not just money, but it's achievement too, right? Like if people want to grow towards a certain role, then by having a clear idea of where they want to be in 3 years, we can make sure that they're taking advantage of the right growth opportunities, they're developing themselves the right ways in order to be sure that they're prepared when they arrive at the opportunity.
100%. And the fact is too is that we also there are mandatory lines in there. Family, spirituality, health is critical. So it really is all encompassing. And the fact is too, you'd be shocked at how much the 1, 3, 5 allows you to have more intense conversations with people working for you, because you're able to actually look them in the eye and say, hey, you had said that you wanted to get healthier, do something with your family. Like, you're able to just actually talk about things that really emotionally matter to them, not just some dollar figure that you're tying nothing to.
How many contacts did you make this week? How many contacts did you make
What
this week?
difference will it make to your family when you hit your financial goal this year is a lot bigger than what kind of car are you going to buy with all that cash.
Yeah, no kidding.
Next item.
Economic model.
This so when you do the 1, 3, 5, if you remember, on the one side of the page it's family, spirituality, health. Those are the first three. Everything on the other side of the page would be business, growth,
wealth.
business, and wealth. And the fact is that it's kind of in order of importance the way I see it. The stuff on the right-hand side of the page is to fund the family, spirituality, health, and growth. And without knowing what that stuff on the right is, what that stuff on the left is, it makes the activities that you need to do, again, seem fruitless if you don't have a clear image of what's on that other side.
So what's the economic model?
The economic model is it's a Keller Williams document, comes right out of the MREA book, and it basically just talks about, in order to hit certain GCI goals, which is typically how people like to figure out what they need. They need to know how much funds they need to fund their perfect life.
Okay.
And by going through it, the math is pretty easy. You do your GCI goal, your net to you goal, minus whatever team expenses you have, whether you own the team or you're part of a team. There are expenses for everyone. And then basically from there, it gives you a larger GCI goal that will still allow you to net what you require to fund your perfect life. Out of that, you're going to choose percentage-wise how much of your business you want to do buyers and sellers, what commission rate you think you're going to be able to secure on both ends of those transactions, and then what average price point you're going to be at. So if any of those metrics move, if any of the metrics on this page move, the activities at the bottom that it spits out will be different. So then you're going to continue down the document, and I won't explain exactly how all the math works, but basically there are different benchmarks for each one. So,
and it's looking at every single conversion point in the pipeline.
Exactly right. So if you take 10 listings, how many of them are going to sell? If you take out 10 buyers, how many of them are going to buy? That sort of thing. And then at the end of it all, it just easily spits out this beautiful appointment goal that you have to hit. So basically, the economic model literally defines the activities we want. So that's what the economic model is. And we're going to get into how we use it here in a second in the one-on-ones.
Absolutely. So it chunks it down to a weekly practice. So we've got our economic model. Next on this list is a GPS. We're not currently using that with every single agent as they come through the door. It's part of the bigger model.
It's a great tool.
Yeah, we'll do a video on it later maybe.
We just don't particularly.
It's a goal sheet. We do use it in leadership of the company. We don't make individuals do it on the team.
Right.
And then it splits onto two sides.
Sorry, one just thing to add to that. The reason that we don't is because we feel a responsibility as the ownership group to tell our agents where the best opportunities are within their either sphere or within the leads that we have on hand, or different possibilities. It's our responsibility to
guide them to the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't know. A lot of them are newer-ish.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, So from there, it splits into two things. One of the core principles on our team is we want to do as much of our training in a group setting as possible.
Yeah.
So we built out a weekly rhythm of training that we hold as our team, and I'll just run you through it quickly. Quick pump up Monday morning, coaching call on Monday afternoon, lead gen slots. Everyone tries to do a big lead gen day and lead conversion day on Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we do a scripting call in the morning. We do lunch and learns Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as well, mostly focused around actual closing techniques and the listing presentation. Everything else is basically lead gen. We do coaching, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of the individual one-on-ones on the team Dylan will do on Thursdays. And then on Friday, we have a sales team meeting, a lot of shopkeeping stuff, like just, general housekeeping, what went wrong this week, what can we do better next week, what new system should we put in place to catch blank, kind of thing. And then I do a bi-weekly training slot. Every other Friday, I do MREA models. So we're going through the entire catalog, goal being that our team is the most up-to-date on the Millionaire Real Estate Agent models and everything that Keller Williams University has produced. This just repeats itself until infinity. It's just a rhythm that we can put any new agent into. They're going to get 90% of their baseline skills up, leaving Dylan to coach them on the high-level stuff, mindset, time blocking, etc. Anything else that you want to add about the weekly calendar?
Not whatsoever.
Yeah, make your own, right? It doesn't need to be exactly like this. This works for us. Try to make sure that you're not saying the same thing over and over and over again to separate people. It's going to kill your time, and you're going to dilute the message. Do it at a really high level with a group. Another thing, too, just in terms of tools and systems, anything that's tool or system related, we videotaped. So I don't train agents on how to use dialers or the database. That's all online videos that they can find at our knowledge-based site. I'll never teach it again. I didn't even make half the videos.
I don't even know.
We were just checking it out the other day. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which means that we've got all of their skills and basic day-to-day stuff. We're coaching them on a group setting, so that leaves a one-on-one.
Yeah.
You want to talk me through how you do your one-on-ones?
Yeah, can I have the sheet?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. So, I got to tell you guys that anytime I see someone on a team or just in production in general that isn't hitting their metrics of financial goals, when they're not actually having the results show up, I can guarantee that it's in the activities that it's missing. So we start by getting them to rate their focus for the past week by 1 to 10. Then, if they rated anything under a 10, which most people do, we talk about what it would take to make it a 10. And then we do the exact same process for their time blocking. So this is, we go into their calendar and we say, okay, what's reflected now? What is not reflected? What do we got going on here? We talk about what's on plan, what's off plan, and how do we get on plan. From there, we review the 1, 3, 5. So the 1, 3, 5, remember, is at the absolute top, just below the big Y. And the reason that we do the 1, 3, 5 is that we want to look at every single week. If you think about it, if I meet with someone once a week and I work 50 weeks a year, which I don't, that would mean that every single meeting represents 2% of their possible time to course correct if something isn't going right. So it's critical that we talk about this every single week. And the 1, 3, 5 is great because anything that's on there that isn't going the way that they want it to, we can just add it to their time blocking. It's literally as simple as that. If you have a goal that you want to achieve, you're not going to do it all at once. You need to start chipping away at it week by week. So that's why we start with the 1, 3, 5 right after time blocking and focus. Now remember, anything on this list that we feel isn't going perfectly, we're going right back up to time blocking because everything has to be reflected in the calendar, and that's where the activities show up. So once we're done with that, we go through the 1, 3, 5, we discuss what's on plan, we discuss what is off plan and any mindset problems that might be surrounding that, and then we talk about how we're going to get on plan for the 1, 3, 5. This conversation takes a little bit of time at the beginning, but not a ton of time once you've been running at it a few weeks. After we do that, we get into the reviewing the economic model that we just showed you guys. Now, Keller Williams has a beautiful system for the 4 conversation that is super, super simple, and I'd recommend using it. On our team, we have a much more complicated version that suits our purposes a little bit better. So we go through the economic model, which is the plan for how we were going to get there, and then we look at the 4 conversations, which effectively is the actual results of what it is that we've tried to accomplish.
So just so anyone who's not Kellerized, I know there's a lot of acronyms in here, the 4 conversations is basically a tracking tool. So it's a spreadsheet. We look at prospecting time, contacts, leads, appointments, contracts, and GCI.
Correct.
And we look at all the conversion points in there to find where their blind spots might be so we can coach them to it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Keep going, sorry.
So then we discuss what's on plan with the 4 conversations, and we discuss what's off plan, and then we talk about how we get on plan. And then basically we do what we call the pipeline report, where we go through and we answer these 6 questions for every single person we have in what we call our top 42. It's basically the hottest of the hot leads. And we ask, what is the client's goal? What is the client's challenge? What is the client's pain point? When is the next appointment? What value is the path group bringing to address the pain point? And what have we discovered? And we find through these questions, what we usually notice is either we have all the answers that we need to know how to close these guys, or we haven't qualified them enough, in which case we get these questions answered, and that typically sets us up well enough to get the contract signed.
Absolutely. The beauty is with those questions, it feeds so well into time blocking for next week to achieve those conversions. And basically the final tool that we use called a 411, which is, it's a weekly planning tool, but it also has monthly and annual goals built in it. So annual goals up top, monthly goals down here, and then you break it out into a weekly calendar. So we'll get granular with this tool too, and we'll literally be like, I'm closing these 3 buyers this week, and I've got 3 listing appointments to book, 1, 2, 3, so you can check them off as you go. And then it's just like hyper high level focus. I love those questions, Dylan. What is the client's goal? What is the client's challenge? What is your client's pain point? Which feeds right into pleasure and pain. That's like plutonium to bring that into a presentation. When is the next appointment? So,
are you booked?
Are you booked? Are you booked?
Is
on
it
our
an open
team,
loop, or have you?
Is it an open loop? One of our standards in a listing presentation is you only leave under 2 circumstances. 1, you signed a contract. 2, you signed a follow-up, or you booked a follow-up.
Yeah.
So when's your next appointment? What value does the path team bring that can address their pain point? We've built a lot of tools into our team that give us like
Oh, yeah.
a trump card in listing presentations.
It's 100% our number one unique value proposition is that we can literally take care of virtually any pain point. If there is a solve, we can find it. So
Absolutely.
and that's just the way we structured things.
And then Discovered is just like a great moment to have ahas at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do on these one-on-ones is make anyone feel like they didn't do a great job. All of our salespeople, we wouldn't have hired them if we didn't think they were unbelievably talented. It's just
future
that,
leaders of industry.
yeah, because the fact is that we are looking to help everyone be the greatest that they can be, and you don't do that by sitting on your laurels. You go and build them. So
Yeah.
that's why we have these meetings. I just want to take one. Do you want to say something in closing, and then I'll finish up? Or
I was just going to wrap up what the whole thing looks
So
like.
go ahead and do that.
So again, guys, you start with the end in mind. So focusing on big goals like your big why and your 1, 3, 5, 10-year plan. If you're not looking at this every week, how the hell are you going to get there? Okay. Then you then you break it down essentially by either using an economic model, or you could use a tool called the GPS, which we'll do another video on. Then you break as much as you can into group training. So if you're not on a team, this is where you're going to your brokerage to find answers, and one-on-ones for the stuff that just can't be got in a group setting. So that's like deeper planning and coaching. And we gave you what our weekly rhythm looks like for training, and as well what our coaching sessions and our all that weekly accountability stuff looks like. So that's the bigger picture. I hope that this helps. You don't have to be on a team or you have a team in order to do this. If you want help doing yours, reach out to me. I'll give you some tips, and I'm happy to share the format for all this stuff with you, or if you want copies of these materials. Other than that, Dylan's prepared a really inspirational quote that he's going to share with you right now to summarize the whole video.
It's not really a quote. It's just something that I really firmly believe, and I wish I had known sooner. And this is really directed to all you team leaders out there. If you're not willing to dig deep on these two items, I'd recommend not getting in business with someone. The fact is that I don't think a lot of team leaders take the responsibility as seriously as they should surrounding what it means when you hire someone and kind of the trust they're putting in you. And I think that if you don't have a clear vision of what it is that they need to accomplish in their life, I don't actually think you're doing a very good job of leading them. And I think that you need to know that you're willing to put this type of time and care into someone, or else I just don't think that you deserve them following you. So I really feel like the big why and the 1, 3, 5 are 100% mandatory items, and you need to have a clear understanding and be confident that you can help get them there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, guys.
We're taking responsibility for more than just someone's salary. You should be trying to help someone develop their life.
Yeah, that is exactly right. Thanks a million for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, awesome. Hope that this helps. If there's anything we can do more, reach out. If you have questions, or if you have a supplementary comment on how we can improve this, I'd love to hear it. So reach out to us. Cheers, guys.